Dude, run!
These branches were the elongated fingers of the missing SCP Foundation researcher.
Oh,
D213 turned to run.
What?
Giant living
What's going on, Cody? Welcome to Nathan for Reaction. Today I'm going to be reacting to SCP-783. There was a Crooked Man SCP animation. This by Dr. Bob. Now this sounds really interesting, but also like really creepy, and I'm really excited to see this. So always link to the video in the description. Now, also, you guys are new to the channel, smash that subscribe button. Let's go and check out SCP-783. There was a Crooked Man SCP animation.
A kindly-looking old woman is carrying groceries into her home. When she closes the door, a crack forms in the wall, and a tile slides down off her roof, crashing to the ground and shattering. The next day, the local builder seems confused. He just fixed a similar problem a week ago at another house, and another the week before that. He'll patch this crack just like he did before and repair the roof, but as he does so, he can't help but think he'll be at another house with the same problem soon. Old people are like this sometimes, though, breaking things on purpose to get someone to come visit them. Oh well, as long as the money is right, he'll keep doing the repairs.
Dang.
That evening, the old woman is in bed when she's woken up by something falling onto her face.
Yo, what?
A crack is opened in the ceiling right above her bed, and plaster is falling on her. What is happening to this house?
Dude,
she would have to call the builder again in the morning and let him know that it was getting worse. She gets up to clean the plaster dust off her face, but stops halfway to the door. Was that a noise she heard?
Dude, I would be out of this house like
Another
pronto.
Noise. She definitely heard something. Is someone in her home? Hello? She cries out. Whoever you are, you better go. My husband is going to be home any moment, and he won't be happy.
Oh no.
The noises seem to have stopped. Maybe she was imagining things. Who would rob a poor old woman after all?
Dude,
she didn't have anything worth taking. She still needs to wash the plaster off her face, though. She listens for a moment, and when she doesn't hear anything...
Yo, this is so creepy, dude. So basically, like, this old lady has, like, this house problem. Like, what is going on, though? And, like, the repairman has, like, been doing this all week, dude. Like, what is this, though? Like, that is so creepy.
Anything else. She opens the bedroom door and screams. The next day, a child stands in front of the house with a look of shock.
Dude,
Was there an earthquake? How could a house end up like this?
Yo.
They ring the doorbell, but there's no answer.
Dude, that house is, like, literally, like, caving in, dude. What is going on with these houses, though? Like, I mean, that's not the only one, is it? Like, the repairman said he's been having this, like, all week. That is so crazy.
They knock on the door and are surprised to find that the door is open. Grandma? The child cries into the quiet house. No response. The child enters and looks around. The house is a mess. Chunks of plaster have fallen off the walls and ceiling. Shelves have fallen over, spilling their contents. And there's broken glass from shattered light bulbs everywhere.
What happened, though?
The boy looks up the stairs and can see that his grandmother's bedroom door is open.
Like Jumanji or something.
Grandma, are you up there? Still no response.
Bro, I would not.
The child nervously starts up the stairs, gripping the railing tight. They quietly...
I would be getting out of that house, dude. I'd be like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to see anything else. Like, all these, like, cracks and, like, the house is, like, literally, like, been, like, I don't know, like, caved in, doing all these cracks and stuff. Like, I would be out, dude. This
They make
kid
their way to the bedroom
brave.
and step into the sliver of light coming from the cracked door. The child pushes the door open to find their grandmother on the floor. Only, it isn't their grandmother. Whatever this is looks like their grandmother, but like she has been stretched and twisted, her body bent at angles where no joints exist.
Dude, she's looking really creepy, though.
Fear, unable to do anything but stare. But the nightmare isn't over yet, because their grandmother...
What is this? Dude, she's
Sadly,
alive!
reports like these are all too common in this small town.
Yo, what is that, dude? What? How do you... What? Dude, I don't even know. That is so terrifying, dude. Like, that kid's grandmother is like, what just happened to her, dude? Like, why is she like that? Oh my goodness, that is terrifying, though. Oh my goodness. And she's alive, dude. Oh my goodness. What happened, dude? Like, what?
That is plagued by attacks from SCP-783, also known as the Crooked Man. SCP-783 is an extremely dangerous anomalous creature that is currently plaguing the population of Tembe, a small rural village in Oxfordshire, England. Every 12 years during the fall and winter months, SCP-783 will engage in a period of hostile behavior that lasts for roughly 70 days, during which time it will target and attack people who are indoors and alone after sunset.
Yo.
Those targeted by SCP-783 will find that the building they are in rapidly deteriorates,
Dude, chills right now.
causing
This
damage
is so
and creating
creepy.
structural integrity issues. These often appear
Bro, this
as
house is
cracks
falling
on the
apart.
outside of the building that lead to the buildings taking on a crooked appearance.
Dude, this is low-key, like, looking like Monster House or something. Like that movie, like, where the house came to life and stuff. Like, that is what this is. Is this house, like, alive or something? This is so creepy, dude. What is going on with these houses?
Unfortunately, while the SCP Foundation is aware of both the location and the periods within which SCP-783 operates, it has so far been unable to prevent any attacks. Additionally, the Foundation has yet to be able to produce either an image or even a physical description of SCP-783 due to the effect it has on recording equipment. Cameras set up to capture the anomaly produce only distorted
so they
or
can't even
corrupted
capture
footage,
it.
leaving its appearance a mystery. Victims targeted by SCP-783
Oh!
meet a fate that is, in many ways, worse than death. Their bodies will experience extreme deformations, as their bones suffer dozens of fractures and are stretched and twisted in various unnatural directions. They are then healed by the rapid generation of cartilage and the growth of extra skin to cover the new elongated limbs, leaving the victims a malformed knot of gnarled extremities. Some of the cases are quite severe, with one victim having just their forearm extended to over 2.4 meters, and another who was left stretched to 12.5 meters in height. Despite the gruesome injuries suffered, the majority of victims are
this
still
dude's
alive
looking really
following the
creepy
attacks,
though.
though they
What?
will more often than not
Oh,
be left
no!
completely paralyzed in a persistent
Oh
vegetative
my
state,
goodness,
or
dude.
both. 27 victims.
Yo, what, dude? Oh my goodness. Oh, what is going on, dude? Like, I literally have no idea. This is so creepy, dude. What
Of
is this
SCP-783 are
SCP?
currently being held in a long-term care facility within a wing of a local hospital that was requisitioned by the Foundation specifically for the care and
this is
treatment of 783
terrifying.
victims. Like many of the anomalies that the SCP Foundation investigates and contains, many of the residents of Tembe appear to have some
Dude, get
awareness
out of that
the
town,
Crooked
dude.
Man, and the
Nobody should
anomaly
be
has
living
become
there.
something of a local boogeyman. Researchers have even documented local school children singing a nursery rhyme that appears connected and may even explain the origins of the creature. It goes, "There lived a crooked man who made a crooked deal. He kept a crooked cane and his catch in crooked creel. He stole a crooked child who cried a crooked squeal, and that crooked little man was broken on the wheel."
What?
A month before a recent SCP-783 period of activity was to be
Yo, dude, like, oh my goodness, this crooked dude, guy, man, thing, dude, oh my goodness, like, oh man, this SCP though, like, oh, this is so
Again, a Class D
creepy.
personnel, D-209, was sent to live in a Foundation-owned home in the village.
Oh no, there's
Audio
some
and
of the
video
D-class
recording
over
equipment
there.
was set up throughout the house in case the D-class was targeted, in the hopes that some information could be gleaned should something take place. 43 days after he began living in the house, something finally did. One evening while in bed reading a book, D-209 heard noises on the ground floor of the home. Cameras on the first floor experienced corruption and showed only a distortion moving through the house. When D-209 attempted to leave the bedroom and escape the home, they immediately encountered SCP-783. During a period of time that lasted roughly 5 hours, their bones were broken numerous times and reset over and over, leaving D-209
What?
a twisted
Dude,
mass
no.
of flesh and bone.
That is
Strangely,
terrifying.
at the exact same time that D-209 was being
Bruh.
attacked, all 27 of the living prior SCP-783 victims in the hospital experienced violent seizures, despite most of them having been declared functionally brain dead and the rest being totally
What?
paralyzed. Also concurrent with the attack was a seismic event on the outskirts of town, and the details revealed by this
What
event
is
were
it?
both illuminating and extremely disturbing.
Dude, I'm
Foundation
like,
personnel
this
were
is so
dispatched to the
weird.
site of the seismic activity to investigate and determine if it was connected to SCP-783 in any way. There, they found a small group of angry townspeople, perhaps frustrated by seemingly unending paranormal events in their town and the
Right,
lack of
dude.
progress that had been made to stop them. After a tense standoff, SCP Agent Collins fired her service weapon into the air, and the crowd quickly
Dang.
scattered. Now free
Dude, they out though. They're like, man, well, no, she means business, dude. We're out.
of distraction, the agents could begin their investigation in earnest. They immediately spotted several objects sticking out of the earth. Upon closer inspection, these were identified as elongated human toes. A dig team was sent to the site, and by the next day, a mass grave had been uncovered that was filled with the twisted mass of what appeared to be victims of SCP-783. Their mutated and drawn-out bodies were well preserved despite being buried directly in the ground, and had all been buried head down.
Yo, this may be one of the creepiest SCPs like I have seen, dude. Oh my goodness, like what?
With their arms extending deeper
This
into
is
the burial
terrifying.
pit. As one
This is
researcher
what
was
nightmares
attempting to
are
take
made
a
of,
tissue
dude.
sample from one of the bodies, the ground beneath him gave way, and he fell into the pit. He
Oh,
landed on the tangled
dude, get
mass
out of
limbs which
there!
shifted under his weight.
Bro,
and he
get out of
disappeared into the
there!
pit beneath them.
Did
Agent
he just-
Collins immediately found
this
a
is like
length of rope,
quicksand?
tied it to her waist, and climbed into the pit with instructions to the on-site team to pull her back up when she signaled. Agent Collins descended into the pit beneath the bodies.
Dude, go
and
get
after several
him!
minutes, she was extracted, though without the missing researcher. At debriefing, she described how she found an anomalous location under the ground beneath 783's victims' corpses, and she was so rattled by what she saw that she was granted a temporary leave of absence. The Foundation had to know more, and a D-Class personnel was quickly selected for exploration of the underground anomaly.
Oh,
D-2172 was equipped with audio and video recording equipment, along with several scientific measurement tools, as well as a firearm, and was lowered down into the pit via crane. Their wired tether to the surface would both send the information they collected back, as well as serve as their lifeline to the surface. As D-2172 was lowered past the mass of corpses into the darkness, they experienced a sense of vertigo, before it was realized that the anomalous effects extended to gravity as well, which had become reversed, and that they would need to start...
Gravity is reversed? That is so weird. Why though?
Climbing up in order to descend further into the pit. They soon climbed out of the hole surrounded by the reaching, extended arms of corpses, and emerged into an open world with an overcast sky. It looked exactly like the town of Tembe, with the same buildings present there as in our world. The world appeared to be uninhabited, though, with no sign of the missing SCP Foundation researcher.
Dude, he's probably like, he went to another world, dude.
And found them all to be empty as well. Though they did unfortunately find signs of a struggle in one house, with what looked to be evidence of the missing researcher's demise. They continued exploring the area and found that the anomalous properties of the location extended to its borders too. And as the D-Class walked north out of the town, after several kilometers, they found that they were now somehow back at the southern edge of the town. D-217...
Wait, so he basically went in like a circle? So he went the same way, but he came out the other end and basically went back to where he was. Dude, that is bizarre, dude.
7-2 was ordered to return to the entry point, but as they walked, they were suddenly impeded by the deformed body of an SCP-783 victim that stretched across the road in front of them. D-2172 drew and fired their weapon at the entity, but it didn't react, and they were forced to retreat into the nearby woods.
Oh no.
After several minutes, they stopped to rest, and they spotted something else. In the distance, the D-Class saw what looked to be a giant white birch tree, and it was coming towards them. As the
Dude, that
living
tree is
approached,
alive?
It became clear that it wasn't a tree at all. What looked like branches were extended bony fingers that it was using to walk. The long branch-like fingers were coming out of the top of the tree, where D-2172 could see their origin.
Dude, run!
These branches were the elongated fingers of the missing SCP Foundation researcher.
Oh,
D-2173 turned to run as the giant living tree chased them back into the town, firing their weapon at the creature.
Yo! Oh my goodness, oh man, so the SCP, like, researcher, dude, is running at, oh my goodness, dude, I would been, dude, I don't even know, I'd been like a marathon, I'd be an Olympian at that point, running, like, back to where I can get away from this dude. I mean, I'd be turning into Usain Bolt running.
To stop it. The visual feed was soon lost as the audio continued to broadcast the screams of D-2172.
Oh no, dude.
But this wasn't the end of the expedition. The on-site team was surprised to witness after several hours that the tether was pulled on twice, the signal that it should be reeled in. A medical team was sent to the site since it was assumed that D2172 would need immediate care.
Did he get
And the
stretched?
team began reeling in
Please
the
tell
line.
me he did not get stretched.
After several minutes, they spotted the harness that should have been strapped to D2172, but with nothing in it. They continued to pull, but the harness became stuck on the mass of corpses in the pit. They then noticed that it wasn't actually stuck. There was a hand holding onto the harness for dear life. It was D2172's hand. The team kept pulling as D2172's arm kept stretching out of the pit to a length of over 3 meters. But eventually, the resistance became too much. D2172 lost its grip, and it was seen sinking back into the mass of corpses inside the pit.
Bruh.
Following this expedition, it was determined that only special operations teams and mobile
Everybody, like, move out of this town, dude. Like,
task forces would be used to explore
No.
the dangerous anomalous location in the future. At least 3 such expeditions have been undertaken, though the details remain
dude, I
classified
can only
for the time
imagine,
being.
dude.
And perhaps it is for the best if they remain so. The SCP Foundation will continue to monitor the town of Tembe in an attempt to learn
Tembe.
more about SCP-783
Dude, what is going on with
and hopefully
Tembe?
discover a means to contain it and its related phenomena. Due to the difficulty in containing the anomaly, it has been classified as Keter, and a local building adjacent to the Tembe Hospital has been requisitioned and designated as Provisional Site 5
Dude,
in
that
order
is
to accommodate the
terrifying.
increased Foundation presence. As the SCP Foundation continues to research this
is like what
mysterious and
nightmares are made
highly
of, dude.
dangerous anomaly, any victims of SCP-783 are to be retrieved, their injuries cataloged, and then their bodies are to be incinerated.
What?
Now go and watch another entry from the files of Dr. Bob.
Yo, that is so creepy, dude. This may be one of the creepiest SCPs I have seen, dude. Like, SCP-783, like, oh my, I can't even, like, begin to, like, comprehend that, dude. Like, that is just so terrifying and just so creepy, dude. Like, I mean, oh man, Tambi, dude, like, that is so terrifying and just so, like, creepy. Just, I mean, oh my goodness, dude, like, that poor grandma, dude, like, the grandson or whoever that was just come to visit, like, his grandma, and then, oh man, dude, like, so, oh, that is creepy, dude. Like, I can't even, dude. Like, oh my goodness, dude, that like, oh, that kid is, like, gonna be like, oh man, I can't even imagine. That is so creepy, dude. Like, that is just, like, so terrifying and just, oh man, dude, I just can't. I just, like, the crooked, like, people and, like, oh, that is just so terrifying, so creepy, dude. SCP-783, I mean, like, and also, like, that nursery rhyme was just, like, really creepy as well, and just, oh man, and, like, the houses, they, like, it looked like it was like an earthquake or something with, like, all the cracks and, like, the foundation and stuff like that. That was just really, like, interesting as well, and just something, like, I didn't see coming. And just, I mean, why does that happen to, like, the houses or something? Is it because they're, like, underground and, like, it's another world or something? Like, that's really interesting. But oh my goodness, dude, this was just, like, really interesting, really creepy, really terrifying, and just, oh man, I can't even imagine, dude. But this was just, like, really creepy. What do you guys think about SCP-783? There was a Crooked Man SCP animation. Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, click that bell to turn notifications. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you guys did enjoy the video, as always, guys, I'll catch you in the next reaction video.